Hello, 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 guys. I am back. I am back to answer your questions as you come onto the line. Make sure that you say hello. And for the next time I go live, why don't you make sure that you have your settings, that you're notified when I go live. I'm just going to be here for a few minutes to answer your questions. Bodybuilding and training, goal setting in life, any area of life. I'll be doing whatever I can to help you. During this session, I'm just totally focused on you. You asking me any questions that you have. A lot of times I do this in between training. I want to do this where I'm totally focused on you. So go ahead and post your questions down below. Make sure you give yourself enough time. As people are coming onto this live broadcast, I want to let you know at the end of this session, I am going to award a winner. The person who asked the best question that I think that was a well thought out question and probably can help the most amount of people. All right, a passionate, well thought out question that can help a lot of people. The person who asked that question, I am going to give them lifetime access to skiplacourmembers.com. Go check that out at skiplacourmembers.com. I want you to look at all of that information, that inspiration that's going to be available to you if you ask the best question. There's 26 hours of video, over 30 hours of audio instruction, workbooks, bodybuilding and training, contest preparation if that's what you like, one-on-one coaching sessions, the best of 10 hours of that, and also has something that will help round you out. Maybe you've been really focused on your bodybuilding and training efforts, and that is the Man Formation Confidence and Leadership Strategy, something I'm really proud of. It helped me round out my life after I spent so much time just focusing on becoming a champion bodybuilder. So that Man Formation program is included. It's in an exclusive members-only website. Again, that's at skiplacourmembers.com. Check that out. Lifetime access into that exclusive members-only website. And that's what the winner is going to get who asks the best question. And I may do this more. We'll see how this works out. And we'll see what it does. Here's another thing, too, while people are coming on this live broadcast. Thank you so much for all those loves and all those likes. I appreciate it. What I want you to do is go to buffdaddyouneverhad.com. All right? And I'll post that link down below, buffdaddyouneverhad.com. I really pride myself on being that person, that mentor, that coach, that friend, that virtual training partner to help you work through your bodybuilding and training efforts in every area of life. I'll tell you what, I've been scrappy, I've been resourceful and gritty, probably been on this planet a lot longer than you in most cases, and I haven't done everything perfectly, not even close. I failed at a lot of things. But because I was resourceful and gritty and I had enough time, I learned a lot of things. And I really pride myself. I really love the title of the Buff Dad You Never Had, because I want your life to be so much easier than mine. I want you to achieve success and happiness so much earlier in life than I have. I want you to just be more effective and efficient. I want you to have the best things in life sooner rather than later. And I want all my pain, all my challenges, all my victories to help you have a better life. I love the title of the Buff Dad You Never Had, the Buff Dad You Never Had. So when you go to buffdaddyouneverhad.com, I've made myself available only at certain times to have 10 to 15-minute conversations with you. I want to help you work through all the information from so many experts and talk about how the information directly applies to you in your specific situation. Because you may read things on the internet, and here's the challenge. You don't know what you don't know, and so you might be reading it from a certain perspective, and it makes sense to you, but you might be missing just a little bit, and it might make a big difference when you just read things off the internet or watch videos. When you have someone to make sure that you are getting the most important things out of the strategies, it's really going to shave a lot of time and frustration and overwhelm. And I want to make myself available to you as the buff dad you never had. So go there. Don't worry about bothering me. I have so many really concerned guys that really appreciate it. That say, I don't want to bother you. I wanted to ask you this question here. It's so generous of you to offer some of your time. Well, the only times that are available when you go to Buff Dad You Never Had are the times that I've made available just for you. So you're not bothering me. All the times that would bother me, they're not available for you to schedule. Right? So take advantage of that. 2 things that I require is that you show up for the time you schedule, so make sure it's a time that you will be on the line, and that you must leave your phone number, and if you're outside of the country, your Skype address. Your phone number or a Skype address, I won't approve any appointments. Any of these times, I won't approve any of them if I don't have your phone number or a Skype address. All right, so go to buffdadyouneverhad.com, and I'll be working throughout the day just with you. All right, so let's see, what do we got here? Hello, Ronnie. How can I gain bicep size? Well, you know, I'm assuming that you're doing an assortment of bicep exercises. Really, when you do those bicep exercises, that you really focus on the targeted muscle group. You challenge yourself to do more weight or more reps, or maybe even both. But when you go to challenge yourself with more weight, more reps, or both, you never lose sight of that you're hitting that targeted muscle group. You know, what I suggest, if you're having a challenge with your biceps and you're doing the exercises, pull out your phone and do a video recording and review the game tape, so to speak. You might find out that maybe you think you're visualizing in your mind you're doing it a certain way, but when you look at the game tape, you know, what you filmed on your phone may not be exactly what you think. You might have one arm that's going this way where one's doing it perfectly. You may be hitting the target muscle group. You may be, in your mind, you're so excited doing the weight, you might be going a lot faster than you thought, maybe slowing it down. You know, might be just the trick that it takes to really stimulate the targeted muscle group. Maybe you're not controlling the negative and you heard that, and you didn't really realize until you actually saw yourself on the video performing that exercise. But, you know, whether it's a barbell, a dumbbell, or a machine, it's the basic, the same movement. You just want to make sure you hit the targeted muscle group. Push yourself. Again, more weight, more reps. You want to push yourself past what you've done before, but you don't want to do more weight or more reps if you're not hitting that targeted muscle group with good mind-muscle connection. And then, again, hitting that targeted muscle group. So hopefully that's helpful. A lot of times people want to go, what is the best exercise? And they just want a particular exercise. And you know, I can tell you an exercise that I think is the best, that is suited for me, that I like it, I'm passionate about it, I'm coordinated in it. But that might not be your particular situation, so you won't get the same effect. Right? So I hope that answer is helpful. Ronnie? Hello, Av. How can I increase my upper chest? That's a great question, Mom. Now, a lot of times, and you'll see this in very well-established bodybuilders, gurus, they talk about upper chest, outer chest, inner chest, mid chest, lower chest, and they have an entire assortment of exercises. Anytime you do a different variety of chest exercise, all right, that may be barbell, dumbbell, machine, whether you're doing it flat or on an incline, right? You're working the chest muscles. Whatever exercise that may be, you know, the variety of exercise will all hit the chest in different ways. Now, not only will each exercise hit the chest in different ways, we all have different levels of coordination. And there are some exercises that we're more passionate about, we're more excited about to do than others. So many times when you narrow it down to a particular exercise, if that person doesn't feel comfortable with it, or they're not passionate about it, it's going to diminish the effectiveness, it's going to diminish the effectiveness of that exercise. But here's the biggest takeaway that I want you to get from that, is that hit the chest with an assortment of exercises. You'll be better with some exercises than others. Okay, that's just everybody's that way. Not only will you be better at some chest exercises than others, if you're using each arm independently, like for dumbbells, like an inclined dumbbell press, one arm may be more coordinated and hit that targeted muscle group more effectively than the other arm, right? So there's a lot of varying factors. But when it comes to the upper chest, it's just the chest, right? It all works. You can't just target a certain muscle group. And I want you to think about that, because sometimes, I get challenged this way because you have a lot of experts saying that you can target the upper chest or the lower chest or the mid chest or the outer chest, right? Well, competitive bodybuilders, and it could be from a local level, regional level, national level, all the way up to a professional, all right? Sometimes we don't give them the credit that they deserve. That this is bodybuilding and training is what they breathe, eat, sleep. It's their identity, right? And there is nobody who's more dedicated. I mean, they're willing to push off everything in their life to become better at their bodybuilding and training. It's what they visualize 100 times a day. And if they compete, you can even take that up to higher and higher levels, right? So a lot of times you think, oh, what does he know? Well, he's concentrating. He's focusing his entire life to his physique. All right, the reason why I bring that up is if you look at a professional bodybuilding show, and these guys have been training for 15, 20, 25 years, they all don't have perfect physiques. Some have the upper chest that you talk about. Some don't. Some is somewhere in between. Okay? Their upper chest development is different. Now you think about that, well, it's just because he doesn't know how to train. You're really going to sell him that short. He's been training for 15, 20, 25 years. That's all he thinks about. He studies the pictures. He has judges telling him what he needs to improve. And if he has just an average upper chest or a below average upper chest, you don't think that he has used every single exercise, every exercise that I could tell. You really don't think that he has? You think he just forgot about that. I stand up there on a line. Bodybuilding is everything to me, and I have this weak upper chest, and it's just because I don't train it, or I don't use that secret exercise that Skip talked about on a YouTube video or a Facebook Live video. If I just would have done, I don't know, incline at this angle or whatever, right? It doesn't really work that. It's all one muscle there. And your genetics play a part of it, how it's shaped, how it looks. But your job is to make the most out of whatever your genetics are. And that is, just think of the chest as one muscle and hit it from a variety of different angles. Work on your effectiveness and efficiency. Don't just assume that just because you're doing an incline dumbbell press that you're doing it perfectly. Constantly break it down. You might want to take a video of you to make sure that you're really executing the way you see it in your mind. Make sure you're controlling weight, hitting the target muscle group. Make sure each arm is hitting it the same way. There's always a higher level to everything. It's, one man's bench press or incline dumbbell press, after he's learned how to do it after 6 months, if there are bodybuilding gods up in the heavens, wouldn't you think that after 10 years of training, after you learned how to do that particular chest exercise, you got better and better and better and better. If you demanded yourself to get better and better and better, right? All right, so there's always a higher level. Hit your chest. Just think of it as one muscle. Use a variety of exercises. And hit that targeted muscle group. Continually challenge yourself to more weight. But if you do more weight, more reps, make sure that you're still concentrating on a targeted muscle group. Because more weight, more reps don't matter if you're not hitting that targeted muscle group. I hope that's helpful. Thank you. Let's see here. David, hello, sir. What is up with you? Hey, you got to get a hold of me, man. Ready to move forward. Right? I know you got some things that you're working out. Let me know. You got my number, Dave. All right. Hello from Morocco, Hamada. Good to have you here. Hello, Scott. What's the best rep range for sets for gaining size? Some people say heavier. Let's see if I can see that entire. Not sure if I can see But I've been asked this question 1 or 2 times, Scott, so let me answer that question for you. So what is the best rep range and sets for gaining size? And you know, Scott talks about all the different information that's out there from all the different experts. Right? Let me just explain the psychology, or you know, the way that I see it when it comes to bodybuilding training. Because I've been doing this a long time, and not only have I been doing it for 27 years myself, and I've been helping guys just like you through the magazines, emails, before there was an internet, right? Certainly before a Facebook Live or even a YouTube, right? So I've been asked the same questions by really thousands of people over the years, and it's given me a lot of insight that I want to share with you today, Scott, and everybody who is watching this live broadcast. All right. I really believe a lot of us who come to the bodybuilding and training world, who really want to focus and dedicate ourselves to this lifestyle. All right, we love the structure, the discipline, how we can plan out our days, that we don't have to depend on other people. We can put our heads down, and it's all us versus us, and we can become the best we can be. Right? And there's a lot of reasons for that. Sometimes you'll hear a lot of people who are in bodybuilding and training that they were bullied, or they had some traumas, abandonment, dad left, family broke up, something like that earlier in their lives, right? And sometimes that really makes the bodybuilding and training lifestyle, the structure, so attractive to us, right? And I call it the black and white mentality. It's like, look, I want to clear this chatter out of my head. I just want it black and white. I want the structure of it. And so sometimes what we do, because we want to clear that chatter out of our mind, just tell me the right answer, black or white. Just make it simple for me. Sometimes when we rush to find, quote unquote, the right answer, because we're rushing to find it, we limit to just 2 choices, black or white, right? And I know that really fits well with our personality when it comes to bodybuilding and training. Just tell me what to do, let me put my head down, let's clear the chatter, I'll work really hard and get results. All right? The thing is, there's a lot more variables in life than just 2, black or white. And so a lot of times the fitness experts, they're so willing to give you black and white answers because that's the way they think too, and that's what they know that you want, right? The truth is there's a lot of different ways to get from point A to point B. There's a lot of different variables in life, and I'll tell you, this will help you in all areas of your life, not just with bodybuilding and training. Because with bodybuilding and training, I can tell you, do this, and for this amount of sets, with this amount of weight, and this particular routine for every body part. Right? And what exactly what you said, Scott. You said, but then this guy will tell me this way, and this guy will tell me this way. So I can give you all the black and white answers that you want. It's just going to be a matter of time before your certainty is shattered. Your certainty is shattered because somebody else tells you something a little bit more persuasive than what I might tell you. Again, there's a lot of ways to get from point A to point B, and there are a lot of variables besides just the best rep range and sets for getting that size. There's a lot of different factors, right? Regardless of how many, whatever the rep range is or the amount of sets, right? It's going to depend on a lot of factors. Those are just 2 factors, right? How effectively and efficiently do you hit that targeted muscle group, right? You know, and it's not just black or white. I either hit it or I don't. There's a lot of different varying degrees. Got a professional like David Dirth, right? He, you know, has been doing it for so many years. You know, he didn't just start with a certain level of effectiveness and efficiency of hitting the targeted muscle group, and then it just stayed that same way 20 years later. It got better and better and better. All right, so that's going to be a big factor, regardless of how many reps you use or how many sets you use, right? It's what you put into every rep, and it's what you put into every set. Another thing is, you know, how much weight are you using to push yourself with those sets and with those reps, right, that are still hitting the targeted muscle group. I mean, look, if there's a bodybuilding god up in heaven, right, if you're doing, just say 12 reps and you do it with 40 pounds, right, and somebody your same size does the same amount of reps over the same time period, same form, same mind-muscle connection, and they use 50 pounds, again, if there's a bodybuilding God up in heaven, shouldn't he get more productivity, better results, better gains than you, because he pushed himself to do more, right? So the amount of weight with all those other factors all plays. And you know what? Then you could talk about getting outside of the gym, right? All those type of things. But again, the fitness experts are going to just give you certain answers, and hopefully you'll just buy into it, lock in, and get the most out of it, right? So, you know, I could give you an answer right now. I really believe when you know how to train and hit that target muscle group, fewer sets with fewer reps, and again, that's all relative, the 6 to 8 rep range, 4 to 6 rep range, fewer reps, and then fewer sets, like 9 sets per muscle group. But again, you got to know what you're doing. All those factors that I talked about, right? And you're not going to be good at it. It takes a certain mindset. It takes a certain skill level that you may not be very good at, and you might see all the other guys doing the 5 times 5 with 10 to 12 reps, and they may seem like they have more certainty because more people do it. Or it may seem like they have better gains. But I'll tell you, when you master that type of training style, you'll see it in the long run. But it does take mastering. Again, it's not the amount of sets. It's not the amount of reps in those sets. It's you that's going to make it work or not work, right? So again, I know, I'm telling you stuff that's so different of what they say in the bodybuilding world. They're so ready to give you a black and white answer and then really force it down your throat. That's the any way you're doing it. Other than that, it's the wrong way. I know that, but again, I'm trying to get you to think. So you're doing this 27 years from now, because if you're doing it 27 years from now, not only will you have mastered what you're doing, you're going to have a lot more fun and more certainty along in the process if you set yourself up with the right thought process. I hope that's helpful. All right, guys. So, Scott, you're going to win the best question today. So I'm going to reach out to you, get your email address, and give you a lifetime access into my Skip Cour members website for that question. Great question. I hope that's helpful. Really, it comes down to your certainty, your level of effectiveness and efficiency, what you produce, and how you get better and better and better. That's going to make all the difference in the world when it comes to strategies. It's not the strategies, it's you. It's the person who is executing those strategies that is going to make the biggest difference. All right, so Scott, I'll be contacting you again. He gets free lifetime access in skiplecourmembers.com. Hey, check that out. Check that out too. Maybe if I do another question and answer session, you will be the next winner. All right. Also, again, go to buffdaddyneverhad.com. buffdaddyneverhad.com. Go there. Schedule your 10-minute coaching session with me. Again, you got to make sure you leave your phone number or Skype address, and you got to make sure you show up for the session. All right, and don't worry about bothering me. I only have the times available that I'm going to be at my desk ready for your call. All right, so go ahead and schedule that right now. Again, Scott, if you were to call, if we were to talk, I would ask you, what are you doing now? I would ask you, on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you think it's working? I would get to your specifics, right? So I can cut through all this generic information, Scott, and how it would directly apply to you. So I can build upon what you're doing now, give you the strategies and distinctions to build upon rather than in just guessing, because I have no idea, and no fitness expert either. They have no idea how long you've been training, how well you execute the exercise. They don't know how well you eat. They don't know your level of understanding. They're just giving generic information. That's why I want to go the extra mile and just because I can cut through all the stuff going through your head, all that chatter, I can cut through all of it in 8 minutes flat. Give me 10 minutes at the worst case scenario. I'm that confident. I've been doing that long. And then with your particular situation, you'll be able to build upon that and create that level of mastery and that level of certainty and confidence that you really want. All right, guys, have a great day. Have an outstanding day. Have an awesome day.